This week, pals face two paths, cozy farming or full-on apocalypse. Ananta's genre mashup that shouldn't work but does, and very well at that. And finally, Animula Nook if you craft grounded but cuter. If we had a sub for every gacha game that recently moved to other monetization models, we would have 2 more subs. Which is a lot because we value every single one of you. So after Do It Night Abyss moved to paid cosmetics only, we now have another hot contender, Ananta. You might remember it under its former title Project Mugen. And if not, let's get you up to speed. Ananta is an urban, open-world RPG developed by a NetEase subsidiary, blending elements of GTA, Genshin Impact, Persona, and even a touch of Spider-Man. What sounds ambitious also looks ambitious and gorgeous. And we are not just talking about the cityscapes. The character animations stand out too, especially where many games in this genre fall flat. Instead of stiff idle poses and off-sync lip movement, Ananta's world feels alive. Pets like cats and dogs roaming around, NPCs filling the streets, and all the characters showing fully animated expressions. And that's by design, as Nova City is described as a living, breathing metropolis, where the ordinary meets the surreal. You play as an Asper, a human with supernatural powers, and gather a crew of unique characters. The trailer even shows you jumping between their daily lives at the click of a button. And not just swapping characters, but instantly switching locations to wherever they are and whatever they are doing. The narrative revolves around anomalies and chaos manifestations. But there is also a slice of life side, with jobs like cop, hacker, and delivery driver. And when you are off the clock, you can hit the gym, play basketball, go racing, go clubbing, or simply pet your neighbor's cat. Players can also buy property, cars, clothes, and more, which ties into its new monetization model. If done right, it could still be an enjoyable experience even for free-to-play players. On the co-op side, Ananta plans to support up to 4 players for quests, exploration, and battles. Details aren't final yet, as the game is set to release sometime in 2026 across PC, Xbox, PS5, and mobile. And just when they announced there won't be any big news around their franchise anytime soon, Pocket Pair drops their new game out of nowhere. That's absolutely not how going silent works, but we are also absolutely not complaining. Palfarm is a spin-off from, you guessed it, Palworld. The game is set on the familiar Palpagos Islands and trades Palworld's grim survival gameplay for a joyful and slower-paced farming life. At least, almost, as there is light combat with raiding pals or underground creatures showing up now and then. But nothing compared to Palworld. Just ignore that rifle in the background. Instead of hunting or surviving against pals, you will mainly be working alongside them to build up your farm. They can help with everyday tasks like watering crops or chopping wood, and sometimes even wield tools that look like they shouldn't be handled by them after all. Like giant chainsaws. Yeah, that looks safe. Multiplayer is one of the core features. You will be able to invite friends into your world, build farms together, share chores, and even handle raids as a team. The exact player limit hasn't been confirmed yet, but it's designed as a co-op friendly social experience. Aside from farming, cooking, and exploration, there is also the usual creature collection aspect of Palworld. And just to keep Nintendo's lawyers busy, they even slipped in a post-outro catching scene, complete with a ball-shaped object, naturally. Social bonds will matter too. By deepening relationships with island residents and your pals, you will unlock new abilities, trading opportunities, side stories, and more. There is no official release date yet, but as always, we will keep you updated. And while we are on the topic of no more news from Palworld anytime soon, there will be a crossover with, you probably didn't guess it, Once Human. As if the horrible life behind conveyor belts for some pals wasn't enough, these poor souls now have to face, well, whatever it is that's crawling around in the apocalypse. Starting October 30th, creatures like Cativa, Chillet, and Chillet Ignis will get their own island, where they coexist with deviants such as the boss-like Wanderer or Chiefosaurus Rex. And the crossover doesn't stop at pals simply being there. Players can actually turn into pals and even use their abilities. Yes, you can now live your best life as a fluffy companion in a world that's normally closer to your top 10 favorite nightmares. For how long though? All crossover pals will be free to collect, alongside cosmetics and products including fashion outfits, accessories and functional items for purchase. But content for Once Human doesn't end at slightly bizarre crossovers. Oh no! They also unveiled their Lunar Revelry event with two main highlights. For solo players, the Lord of Moonlight occasionally shows up to steal your identity. Now it's a cat and mouse game where you literally hunt yourself for loot. Immersive, right? Co-op fans get a continent-wide event with Conquest Zones, where taking down one Lord of Moonlight can make life easier, or way harder, for everyone in the other zones. And all of this happens under a blood-red moon. Romantic, isn't it? The event will also offer tons of new rewards like blueprints, deviations, and collectibles. So, what are you hunting this spooky season in Once Human? Pals, your evil twin, or something entirely different? Animula Nook is the newest rave in the cozy games community. And for a reason, because it's hard not to love these cute character designs. In this new cozy life simulation, we are shrunk into tiny versions of ourselves. But don't worry, this time around we do not end up in a backyard filled with spiders, but what looks to be our own room's desk or playmat. Here in this tiny world, Starside Homestead, the minis live. Creatures of all kinds that go about their daily lives. We loved seeing the building system that's more of a building kit of different elements you can use to put together your own dream home. We will be able to change our outfits, tend to our garden, and invite minis over to enjoy some time together. Not a lot is known about the co-op features, so some of what I'll tell you about it is just based on the trailer and some good old speculation. But it looks like we will be able to venture out into other parts of our real-world-sized home to explore together with friends. It's coming to PC, PS5 and Switch too, probably sometime in 2026 as a free-to-play title. At the moment, closed playtests are happening and creators are getting test access. Except us, unfortunately. Although we tried, because we would have loved to show you our own view on this adorable adventure. Path of Exile 2 just casually overhauled its entire endgame. And this time, even in a good way. Starting next week, tablets no longer need towers and can be activated on any map instead. Maps themselves are getting trimmed down. No more running around hunting the last mob hiding in a corner, sipping a cosmopolitan or something. Instead, map bosses become the main objective, with a few overpowered ones sprinkled in between. On top of that, maps will feature more random events, and mob density now scales with your progression, making the beginning of the endgame less overwhelming and a lot more fun. Party Animals is celebrating its 2nd anniversary, and obviously for a chaotic game like this one, that means cozy fishing, of course. Head to the autumn cabin, toss a line in the pond and reel in fishes for rewards. If that's too calm, the new What If mode flips reality on its head. With gravity flips, bomb-filled typhoons, giant-headed cats, balloon-riding dogs, and other surreal modifications. So, completely normal stuff. And of course, there are anniversary rewards and a huge discount. Happy bobbling! Last Epoch is coming to PlayStation 5, which is great news for everyone with friends playing on console. However, we don't know when this will happen, as a release date hasn't yet been revealed. But it's confirmed to release alongside the next major expansion, Orobis, and likely Season 4 as well. If past season pacing is anything to go by, we are probably looking at an early 2026 launch. When we saw the Chocobos in the first teaser a few episodes ago, we knew this was going to be great. We did not expect the Final Fantasy collab in Monster Hunter Wilds to be that cute. Just look at that baby Chocobo. But let's stay focused for a second. The update leans heavily into the Final Fantasy universe, not only bringing a special boss, but also a signature armor and pictomancy spells. Tons of new cosmetics will also be available, so if you're a fan of both games, make sure to check in when the update goes live on September 29th. To balance out that cuteness factor, they teased the next big hunt, Gokmasius. He'll be making his way to the game alongside with new endgame content by the end of this year, so you'd better start preparing now. If 2B from Nier Automata wasn't enough fan service for you, don't worry. The next collab is already on its way to the first Descendant. Starting November 6th, you will be able to play as Bayonetta, the iconic Umbra witch from her namesake series, complete with her signature weapons. This will be a skin for the character Glay, alongside an in-game event and additional cosmetic items. We're already curious to see which femme fatale will be next. While we normally try to be funny in these Newsflash segments, we will start with an important message, or rather warning. Due to a major exploit that is affecting the online matchmaking in Borderlands 4, it is highly recommended to completely avoid matching with strangers for now until further notice. Otherwise, trolls could tamper with your skill trees, save files, game progress, or even reset your level back to 0. Online co-op with your friends is fine, except if your friends are trolls too. Then please report the claptrap out of them. And in other Borderlands 4 news, the Switch 2 launch has been indefinitely postponed, as the team does more technical testing and tweaking to avoid any further Stutterlands 4 on the Switch. They didn't say so, but we feel like the Warframe devs are already preparing for Halloween with this announcement. With The Devil's Triad coming later this year, we get 3 new proto-frames and 1 new Warframe, Uriel, that match the spooky vibe suspiciously well. And if you haven't had the time to check back on Warframe for a long time, just like us, you can confess your gamer sins to Sister Marie. So, the devs of Payday 2 might have taken their own name and key art a bit too seriously. Because this week they have decided to introduce a DLC subscription costing $5 a month to their 12-year-old game. Just after they had silently increased the overall DLC bundle price by around $50 too. Since then, the reviews have taken a deserved hit, and the developers have admitted they messed up. Still, they are holding tight to their change. We just hope this does not inspire others to go for those Netflix-style gaming subs. If the red moon in one's human is way too gloomy and you'd rather spend your time under a normal moon, Days of the Moon in Sky might be your ideal digital retreat. Here, you can take some time to relax, reflect, and solve player-created riddles with your friends. In the event space, you may also share a sweet treat and find out how it feels to become a bunny-shaped mooncake. Life goals. Diablo 4 Season 10 launched and, well, didn't quite meet expectations. And if you want to be disappointed as well, you can now play Diablo 4 for free until October 2nd. You might know Rematch from our June releases video, and if you don't, why? But jokes aside, this creative new approach to football games is playable for free until September 29th. But that's all for this week. We wish you a ton of fun in co-op with your favorite people, and we'll see you again in the next one.